Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry that we're running a little bit behind schedule on this stream, but we are live now. It's time for Ultimate versus Orange Esports. This one, a best of three between one very well-known team in Southeast Asia and one not so well-known. Ultimate, I gotta say, played well yesterday, but that was not against the top dogs. That was against some slightly lesser competition, and let's see what they can do now, matched up against the might of RNG Esports. And RNG Esports, who has to have a bit of a fire lit under them, as they have not looked particularly strong their past few matches, dropping some games that you would think they had in the bag. They will be having a few different players play this game, though. Kachik Imba is standing in. It looks like there may not be an Ohio in this one, actually. I'll try to do some research on exactly who this fifth player is. He's changed his name to Not Good Enough, but we will see. I'm actually casting through Dota TV. I do apologize, I'm not inside the lobby. I ran a little bit late getting in, and so my voice won't be in the game, but if you want to watch, you can, of course, just watch on the stream. I do apologize for that. I'm not going to be able to cast the whole series anyway. I will have to go after this one as the G1 league, and I might even have to go in the middle of the game, depending on how long it drags on, as we do have our G1 league coming up in just about an hour, a little bit less, and they start pretty much exactly on schedule. They're not going to wait for me, so I got to make sure I'm in that lobby. But anyway, thank you all for joining me. Of course, I am LD of Beyond the Summit. And we're going to cast what should be a very interesting series here. Darkseer, Magnus, a big AoE combo picked up for RNG Sports. Not much actual damage to speak of, aside from that Magnus. Lots of AoE in a sense, but later on in the game, no physical damage. Nothing that will deal with the illusions too effectively. Aside from potentially Empower. Empower can be the solution to the Phantom Lancer illusion army, but you need a lot. You need a lot of damage. They ban out one of the better heroes to deal with the Illusion Army in the Lone Druid, as well as one of the heroes that can end the game early. Fortunately, though, there won't be the Keeper of the Light pick from Ultimate, who chose to go for Queen of Pain. Instead, they went for that hero that can dominate a Magnus 1v1 mid if played correctly. But they will leave. They will choose not to get the Codal PO combo, which I'm pretty happy about, since I only have about 45 minutes to actually cast this game. Looking forward to hopefully the game being decided within 45 minutes. And banning a hero like Codal, well, that's going to move us right along in that direction. Of course, guys, if you're just tuning in now, you might be wondering, what's going on? Why do I see two Beyond the Summit streams live at once? Well, that's because Beyond the Summit 2 is actually live right now with some additional GEST Dota 2 action. It's not just me casting today. It's Blaze and Vic, or Vikraman, as he calls himself. Both of those, a bit of a mouthful for me at this late hour. But yeah, they're casting as well. So if you want to watch MUC versus Myth Trust, go on and check that out. Twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit 2. They'll be covering GST as long as they can keep their eyes open, which should at least include this one more match and potentially the semifinals after that. Of course, this GST brought to you by Beyond the Summit, made possible by Dota Talk and the great sponsors and organizers behind the GST, known as Gigabyte themselves, who by themselves have pretty much funded all of the action for Southeast Asian Dota for quite some time. So huge shout out to Gigabyte for all they do for esports, especially in Southeast Asia. We are very, very grateful. Thank you all very much. But anyway, on that note, we're actually going to see a Chen banned out here by Ultimate. So a little bit worried about the 5-man of Orange. And well, they should be, because there's already a hero who can build the early mech in the Darkseer, a hero who can build the early teamfight initiation item in the Magnus. I'm actually curious what we're going to see as far as the lanes. It depends really who this fifth player is. The symbol of the thumbs up not really ringing a bell for me, although I think it is one of Orange's players. But we've seen Mushi playing that solo mid Magnus when Ohio wasn't playing, so potentially could be Mushi going mid. Kachik Imba normally plays that hard carry role for the team. And if that's the case, something like a Luna would have been a powerful choice, as I actually look up and realize Ultimate have banned that. So no Luna. Probably the best hero for just ending the game early, aside from a Lone Druid, just getting the additional damage coming from your aura, getting that Illusion Army, the Bouncing Glaives as well, all the AoE in the world, but it won't be there, as the Luna has been banned by Ultimate. Smart bans from Ultimate overall. I like the Chen ban, because they remove a hero who can build the early Arcane Boots, or in the case of Extinct, who could just greedily find those Wildkins, hit the fastest level 7 you'll ever see, and be a total pain in the ass as the game progresses.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Reading some of these comments here in the chat. I may or may not have closed my eyes and drifted off for a few minutes, but the good news is I did actually miss a game, so my body woke me up. I've been casting a lot. It's probably been about 8 hours a day on average for the past 2-3 months. Yeah, that's a lot of casting, not to mention VODs, all the other stuff we're doing. So occasionally my body just wants a nap, and, well, I would have been fine except for the fact that that earlier game actually got canceled as Jonette forfeited. So then I was like, alright, I can relax for a little bit, I'm going to watch the cast over on Beyond the Summit 2, and next thing you know, I'm just drifting off, but, well, I luckily didn't sleep through G1 League, didn't sleep through any actual games, just was a little bit late into this one, so... Anyway, with that being said, what is Ultimate going to go for here? They really need that secondary support to go with the Shadow Demon, as well as another solo. And the question will be, what kind of secondary support will they have left? Leshrac is kind of your obvious choice, but if they want a turtle, a hero like Jakiro may be the better option. It will depend on sort of their tempo for this. Oh, sorry, not Leshrac, because Orange have actually picked that up. Lena's been banned, so I'm thinking Jakiro, that's probably the most likely choice at this point. There's not really a whole lot aside from that. As far as just big AoE stuns that combo with Shadow Demon, and you can't really go ganky with a Jakiro Shadow Demon. I mean, you can. It's just not very effective in most games. With Queen of Pain, they might have enough damage to get the kills anyway. But I imagine we're looking at something like a tri-lane Shadow Demon, Phantom Lancer +1, a Queen of Pain mid, and then your off-lane to be determined who that will be and what that will be. There's a Bounty Hunter. We saw Rattlesnake running that yesterday, but generally for the Southeast Asian teams, Bounty Hunter in the off lane when you have this kind of lineup, just not something they go for. They'll go for Undying. So maybe now look at something different from them. We saw the solo mid Phantom Lancer yesterday, and frankly this game, well, PL versus Magnus, all things considered, not that bad of a matchup. They picked up the Undying, so we could see an Undying Shadow Demon +1, go to that off lane for ultimate, and then have your Queen of Pain headed either to the safe lane or towards the middle lane. I would say probably safe lane can deal with Darkseer okay. Phantom Lancer, not too shabby versus a Magnus 1v1. A little bit vulnerable to the rotations of the Rubik and Leshrac, but we'll see if Ultimate can actually punish that.
5 seconds remaining.
This Undying pick, very unusual, and oh boy, it's on now. This must be a misclick. There's no way anyone would actually pick this hero, right? Right? Wrong. Medusa has been picked. Sound the alarm. We just had some funny heroes picked earlier. We saw the Spectre picked up in Neolition It versus Neolition Thailand. Now we're going to see a Medusa pick up. She is an ugly one. She can take the PL late game. I mean, probably the best hero in the game with, aside from maybe a Gyrocopter. When you just look at a hero having insane farm, who's going to be able to deal with the PL Illusion Army? Medusa will. Medusa will. Now, that might mean we're in for a really long game, so I'm not sure how I feel about this pick from that perspective, but we officially have a Medusa. Holy crikey. This should be a treat. And generally with Medusa, you run her as your safe lane farmer, so I believe we're looking at a Medusa tri-lane with a Rubik Leshrac protecting that Medusa, and then we're going to see... Is there really a Medusa pickup? I didn't even realize this hero was was allowed in CM in Dota 2 right now, but apparently it is, so we're going to see what it can do. I mean, her ultimate is amazing versus illusions. It'll just kill them all instantly. There's actually a funny video clip where Rubik drops his wall. He's on the enemy team, and Medusa pops her ultimate, and the illusions just keep on... The enemy illusions from Darkseer's wall just keep on dying, keep on respawning, and doing so much damage to the enemy team. And, well, we're now going to remove off our directed cam, and let's have a look at who our final player is, because his name is escaping me. It is KYXY. So it won't be Ohio playing. Ohio's the one who's having to stand in this game. It's not KYXY sitting out. So it's going to be Bushi on the Magnus. He'll be taking that solo mid role. Net going to be playing that support Rubik with the Observer Wards already picked up. KYXY on the Darkseer, one of his most common offlaners nowadays, and I would say one of his stronger ones at that. Extinct on the Leshrac, Smoke of the Seed for him quite early on. And last but not least, it's the little one, the small but powerful guy. It's going to be the Medusa slithering her way towards the lane. As for ultimate, well, they're having a little powwow in the base. They're just chilling here, and they're actually going to offensive tri-lane their Phantom Lancer. It's another option for them, just something I didn't mention because, well, PL's not really that strong of a tri-lane hero. He needs levels, he needs farm. Lance is decent when you have an amazing spell like Illuminate and something like Chakra Magic to allow you to spam it to follow up, but in this tri-lane, we'll see. They have some killing potential, but they could also be shut down. Orange have heroes with enough AoE, enough crowd control that PL could easily be denied. Plus, it's 3 ranged heroes against 2 melee, and that is going to be a lot of additional auto attacks going the way of Orange Esports. So on the side of Ultimate, Dandimon. Not Dandy, but Dandimon on the PL. La Vida playing the Shadow Demon. Tory Black on your Undying. Going solo mid, it's going to be Sick Bastard on the Queen of Pain. Not rushing a bottle too much, but has taken that early mantle, and now we'll see 11-11. The most mediocre score you can ever have playing that Windrunner. Let's hope he's got something special prepared. Off the bat, KYXY looking for that early level 2, and then I imagine we'll see him head to the off lane, but he'll miss some experience starting in the jungle. You could get a lot more 1v1 versus a Windrunner, assuming he goes for it, which I imagine we'll see in just a few moments. So, down to the bottom lane, Ultimate, they're running an aggressive tri-lane, but they came to the lane late. They did not get any Observer Wards up. They don't have too much vision right now, and they have to be a little bit worried about a potential initiation here. They have Disruption, but if you can go on the Shadow Demon, he's a hero you can kill. And for Ultimate, again, without the vision, they have to be very worried about that. Off the bat, Kachik Imba. He'll be playing that Medusa as mentioned, and he's going to have some relatively straightforward farm in this lane. Net going in. He wants that Shadow Demon. A well-timed Disruption, though. Might be enough to turn this around. In fact, can he get away? Split Earth on 2. Hell yeah, he can. Tory Black now taking some big damage. The Mystic Snake already used. Tory Black on the run. The backstab is here. Early first blood from Orange, and they're not done yet. They're going to want another kill. They have an additional Mystic Snake, but they die. Medusa is low. Net is low. Dandimon is low. But he's also chasing. He's still manning up. The Mystic Snake gets the kill. It's a bloodbath bottom lane. Medusa and PL both picked and 4 kills in their lane in a matter of a minute and a half. What kind of Dota is this, guys? This is most certainly not logical Dota. I can tell you that. I think I'm going to go back to sleep because I must have woken up to some sort of strange nightmare. This is not Dota as I remember it. I think that's GG. Well, I don't know about that one black guy, but that does make life a lot harder for Ultimate. They are aggressive tri-lane and a Phantom Lancer. A hero who needs a lot of farm is mentioned, who doesn't really have good lane control. And it goes back to the lack of vision. They just did not have a ward in the enemy jungle. You generally want one. We see the Chinese teams put them in a variety of places when they run these lanes, whether it's an observer ward like over here. Sometimes you'll see an observer even over this way, and it can't even block the camp while giving you a lot of vision. You can put one behind the tower. You have your standard pub ward, which is right here. Any of those are possible. I keep on trying to draw on the map, but I can't. But the point is, they didn't have the vision. They gave it the first blood pretty much exclusively because of that. And then the tri-lane starts to fall apart afterwards. And looking at the gold graph now, almost a 1k gold lead for Orange. Almost around a 500 experience lead, which isn't that big, but you have to consider top lane was just free experience for Windrunner. And now, off the back of that kill, KOX will rotate top. He'll start getting some experience of his own. Middle lane, Mushi, he's got Skewer and Shockwave. He could go for this combo in just a few moments, but he wants to hit level 5 first, so he'll need that level 3 Shockwave to get this kill. Bottom lane, the initiation on Net. He's been disrupted. Now he's on the run. There will be 3 stacks of Shadow Poison, but it's only level 1. It won't be quite enough damage. He'll have to go back to Fountain off of this. He'll be down to about 20 HP. He will be low. No, maybe he won't. Maybe he'll just be a man. I guess that's the plan. Take a look at the farm of this bottom lane. Medusa now up to 12-2. Phantom Lancer sit at 7-0. The 2 solo lanes going well for Ultimate. So their solos are winning their lanes, but only by a slight margin. 16-5, 16-3 versus 14-1 on both of the melees. Considering that Orange's solos are significantly weaker 1v1 in the laning stage just because they're melee. And unless you're creep skipping, you're going to be copying a lot of Harassment's Darkseer. These are great trades for Orange, something they'll be very happy with. And still in solid position heading towards that 5-6 minute mark when the Magnus gets his level 6. That's where Mushi can get really active. If he comes to this tri-lane, hits a Shockwave on 2 or 3, hits a Skewer on 1 or 2, and then RPs, catches 1 or 2, tri-lane is over. Because after that, they're going to have aggressive wards all over the place. And Undying, a hero who's great in those sustained fights, but not getting much experience right now, only level 2. As tanky and annoying as he can be with levels, he's equally useless without them. Just not a hero who's going to offer you much past that 5-6 minute mark. When you're looking at max Shockwave, that'll do almost half his HP, just instantaneously at that. And looking at top lane, surprised that KYXY actually isn't creep skipping in this lane too much. Seen him just content to sit in the lane and farm. He is hitting level 5. He's not really being driven out of the lane, but you can farm more just by creep skipping the Windrunner, as well as depriving her of some additional regen. Bottom lane, it looks like the aggression will tick off here as Dandimon forced to go inside of Doppelwalk driven back a bit. Tory Black on the front lines. Apparently Tory Black has a bit of an international following now. And yes, that is a porn star, if you didn't know. No, we do not condone that sort of thing here in Beyond the Summit, but the player's not listening, apparently. KYXY now going to go for a creep skip, but he's missed this wave. He'll have to miss one wave of experience if he wants to pull it off. And he's just going to do some jungling instead. He'll come back to the lane soon. So again, it's very, very early. The solo's doing well for Ultimate, but I don't think it's well enough, considering they gave up 3 kills bottom. They got the first blood, but it's just such a big trade. They will rotate their Queen of Pain down bottom, and Mushi should have a teleport scroll. He's got one now. The bottle's coming out. He's level 6. This is danger, Will Robinson. Don't go. Don't dive that tower. Queen of Pain will go back towards mid, though. Just heads towards the courier. Heads towards the bottom lane, but then thinks better of it. Returns to the mid. And we'll continue farming at that. Mushi now getting close to level 7. That's where that shockwave can really do some work. As KYXY gets solo kill top lane. 11-11, bringing him down. A hero who normally does not find a solo kill on Darkseer, Windrunner. But 11-11 does it here. My bad for missing that one. Just generally something you don't see, but no excuses here. Except fatigue. Except fatigue. Here comes the backstab. Net on the run. He's going to have a telekinesis lift. He's circling around, looking for Tory Black. Hasn't found the opening just yet, but he can look to go soon. Do they have Dusk? Because they really want to kill a PL here. They do not, so they'll have to settle for somebody else. Who will they go for? Shadow Demon's the obvious choice. Can they find him? Can they pick him off? That's the big question. Net's waiting. He's lurking, and La Vida is walking right into the trap. They could maybe get 2 or 3 with an RP. That's where they could actually kill off this Phantom Lancer. They'll throw up La Vida straight up and down. Now the Split Earth to follow, as well as the Lightning doing good damage, but not quite enough. He gets the Soul Rip off. The Undying does it that. And Alishrak trying to hunt La Vida down. Windrunner joins the fight bottom. Where is Mushi? Where, oh, where is that Mushi? He's nowhere in sight just yet. He's teleports in. He will look to join the fight now. He's got Shockwave. He's got Skewer. He RPs too. He Shockwaves too. He piles them in. He looks to bring them all down. He's going to have another Shockwave soon, and Decay is not going to save you. One more Shockwave. Almost gets Don Devon first trouble. Windrunner diving the tower. Picks off the Medusa. 2 for 2 so far, but likely to be more following in a matter of seconds as Rubik continues to chase. No mana for Shockwave, no Arcane Boots. They just need a lift here, and then that follow-up stun coming from Leshrac, but they won't have the chain stun in time. Windrunner able to escape, so 5 for 4. It started off 3 for 1. These kind of trades, you gotta be happy if you're Ultimate. The only issue is they brought 5 to the fight. Orange, they brought 4. So yes, Mushi joins the fight. Yes, they get what looks like a decent trade, but now KYXY is taking a tier 1 top. Whenever you leave that Darkseer off lane alone, he gets your tower. It's just how the cookie crumbles, how the hero works, pretty much. And with that early tier 1, we'll see the mech coming out soon. He's already got the Soul Ring. He's got the Tranquil Boots. He can disassemble those Tranquil Boots if he wants, use it to build an even faster mech, or just hang onto them and build one from scratch. Either way, Headdress coming out soon. And Mushi middle lane goes for a Skewer. He may have to... No, he's actually picked up the haze, so he won't have to do anything. He'll just lope back towards mid and look to pick up some additional gold. Just checking Skype to make sure there are no horrific technical issues on the stream. Seems like it's okay. Wow, that kill was on the Medusa, on Kachik Embo was actually bigger than I realized, because he actually is going Midas. Medusa needs a lot of stats and a lot of items to be effective. Midas is an item that will get her level, something she also needs, but obviously, when you go Midas and you're up against Ultimate's burst damage, their early game potency, you are risking those deaths. I think it's okay. I mean, it's a slow Midas for a safe lane Dusa, but you are up against an offensive tri-lane. And they're actually going to rotate the Phantom Lancer out of the lane, who's getting even less for himself. I mean, as far as the CS goes, it's not really even that close. Medusa 32-9. I guess it is kind of close. 27-3 with Phantom Lancer, but considering that he's not going Midas, he will fall really far behind is sort of my point here. Is we're going to go bottom. Mushi with a haste. Lumbering in. Looking for the Skewer. Looking for the RP. Doesn't actually connect on the Skewer that well. Only gets 1, but the RP was there. The Split Earth even better. They'll get 2. And now they can smash this tri-lane. They want some more, potentially. Not going to dive. The haste range just wearing off. Now Kachika has the Midas, has the boots. And top lane, Don Demon forced to windwalk, forced to doppelwalk away. As Kachikemba continues his shenanigans. So what do? The only thing they really can do, Queen of Pain pushes that mid lane. Sure, she can go top, and you might be thinking, can't she kill the Darkseer? No, they don't have a stun. If he plays it properly, he'll just surge away. He can even TP out if he needs to. They'll need to bring the Windrunner there, and then if they're doing that, then that means total free farm for Medusa. So, having the Darkseer this game, well, having a Darkseer any game, not enough to deal with it. They will actually rotate the Windrunner top. They hit the Shackle. Still, I think he should be okay. He'll just vacuum and TP, and there's not going to be enough burst to bring him down. That Lance, however, will follow him back to the fountain, I believe. Let's see. Surging out. I know it can't be disjointed by blinks. I don't know if it actually follows you all the way to the fountain. It looks like it did. It does. The Spirit Lance will follow you all the way. That is what I thought, but good to get some confirmation. The more you know, the important stuff you know. Maybe if you TP to your tier 4 by mistake, you die to that Lance in some weird situation, but not weird enough here, guys. Not weird enough here. So for anyone who's just tuning in, you might be wondering, where's Myth Trust versus MUFCLD? That looked like the best matchup in the second round of quarterfinal matches. You're right, it is. But I won't be casting the whole series. We have Blaze and Vikromon who are going to be covering that series. I'm only going to be covering probably Game 1 of Orange versus Ultimate. It will be starting now, or continuing now as Donibot gets caught by Dust. No Diffusal Blade, no Manta, no way to remove that Dust. An easy kill. And I'm talking about Diffusal Blade and Manta. It's 11 minutes in. He's not even close to a Blade of Alacrity, let alone any of those things. Simultaneously, though, bottom lane, Medusa gets caught, pops her ultimate. The zombies doing some work, but actually 11-11, taking a lot of tower damage to TP in from the Darkseer. KYXY joins the fight, looks to bring him down. He'll get the kill. He wants some more. Can he find it? I'm not sure he can. He's still chasing. He's still chasing. Actually, it looks like he can. Vacuum's going to cool down soon. Tory Black goes for the boots at the side shop, and now will pay. Will absolutely pay. There's no running. He's stuck. He's low. He could try for a TP. He doesn't have the mana to buy one, so he's dead. And now, are we looking at a triple? Are we really looking at a KYXY triple kill? We are. 3 bite the dust just from that Darkseer counter gank. No way. No stuns, really, at all. Just disruption. No demonic purge yet. Who am I kidding? It's a level 3 Shadow Demon. 12 minutes in, level 3 on the Shadow Demon. That's just the tri-lane losing a couple of fights, really falling behind, and some solid play by Orange to do so. Their Medusa dies again, but I think it's okay. If you're Orange, your Medusa doesn't have to shoulder a heavy load just because you have 2 really strong mid-game heroes and your Blink Dagger Magnus, as well as your really fast mech Darkseer. Well, it won't be the fastest mech ever, but considering everything else, actually it will be one of the fastest mechs ever. He gets it now. I was like, wait, I thought he was closer than this. But yeah, he actually did have it on the courier. It arrives now. Mushi jumps in mid, just throws out a casual RP on 1. There will be a telekinesis lift, as well as a zap. The chase is on. The lance was stolen. And this should go to Kachikemba. The wand actually popped. Still on the run. Still on the run. Now the TP on the high ground. Don't tell me he's going to get away. He is. They blew an RP. What a absolutely spectacular little play by 11-11 to escape with his life. If they had Demonic Purge top, maybe, just maybe, they could think about a Shadow Demon gank on the Darkseer, but instead, all they can do is run. He's got Surge, he's got Mech, he's got Wand, he should be absolutely fine. And after blowing the RP, looks like they're still going to get the tower mid. Sick bastard, he's got a regen rune, he's got an Ogre Club. They'll get the tier 1 Orange. Up by 5k gold, up by about 5k experience. And now, more work. Just more work. Double kill by KYXY. Somebody kill this Darkseer. There's a cone-headed man in the house, and he's just murdering everyone. They don't even have RP. They can't even really contest, but that's taking 4 or 5 heroes to deal with the Darkseer. That's how dangerous an offlane Darkseer can be against certain lineups if not played. If you don't have the composition to deal with them, and you're not able to shut them down early, it's the risk with going aggressive tri-lane, and it's why I was... You might have noticed I sounded surprised to hear the Undying pick. It's because there was a Darkseer on the field at that point, and you knew he was going to be there. He was picked up in the first 3 by Orange. Not running a defensive tri-lane against the Darkseer. You really need a dominant 1v1 hero, something like a Lone Druid. Sure, there was that solo kill top by Windrunner, but it doesn't even matter. You could kill the Darkseer. He's still going to free farm your lane unless he's basically got sludge in between his ears. He's going to find the farm. He's going to do the creep pulls. He'll farm your jungle. He'll pull your wave to your jungle and then farm it. He'll get a lot of gold. He'll get a really early mech mid lane. We'll see a blink in. Sick bastard. Doesn't want to get split earthed under the tower. Just chooses to unload the ult. Not really necessary, but just played it safe. Making sure he doesn't actually take a fall. And that Midas gold is definitely kicking in, even with all the deaths. There's your Blink RP bottom lane. Once again, a one-man RP, but it seems absolutely sufficient. Just get one kill, go push the tower, and without Tombstone, without Queen of Pain ultimate, defending this, not really going to happen. We will say La Vida as well. Sick Bastard, head towards the bottom rune. Nothing there, and the tower will take a fall. Goes the way of Kachikemba. He's small. He's not powerful yet, but he's slowly getting there. So to finish my thought from a long time ago, before there was all that action, there's another stream going on right now for GST Dota 2, MUFC versus Myth Trust. That's on Beyond the Summit 2 with Blaze and Vikram Castian. So twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit 2 if you want to check that out. They will be covering GST until their eyes basically fall, like close themselves of their own will. And potentially until their mouths just stop working. They'll keep on casting. Maybe they'll even cast through the semifinals coming up later. Splitter, top lane, not gonna latch. Extinct whiffs that one. And whiffs it hard at that. But there is still a mech. There's still a wand. Won't actually get it off. Just dies to the soul catcher damage. No mech. No 15 charge wand. Mushi Blake's it. Whiffs the skewer on Queen of Pain, but catches at least a Wild Undying. And now Kachikemba looking for a kill. Another Shackle. It's a double already for the Queen of Pain. And they want more. They want this Medusa. They will find her. Orange Esports with a horrendous clash, losing 3 heroes. Potentially, in fact, probably losing 4. This is a kill that they should be able to run down. A snipe from long range, MLG 420 style. 11-11 picks up another. That's a 4-0. RP was cooling down, but even so, I mean, goodness gracious. You gotta ask, where was Rubik in that fight? There's something wrong when your Rubik, your sort of easy, reliable initiation, is not in these fights, so he'll TP out immediately bottom lane. Great reactions by Net. That fight is going to buy Sick Bastard's BKB. Medusa dying yet again. Drums as well as the Midas, but the gold lead, as substantial as it is right now, I have to imagine there's something on the courier for Phantom Lancer at this point. Wow, really still nothing. Okay, well, it's still a substantial gold lead then, even though they got 4-for-1 pseudo-wiped. Not even really counting Rubik as a major player in this game right now. 5k gold lead for Orange. Only about a 1k experience lead. They're not out of the woods yet. This game is still theirs. They've got the better late game lineup. And yes, I say that when they're up against the Phantom Lancer because they have a Darkseer. They can create illusions of that Phantom Lancer. They have Medusa, probably the best hero along with Gyrocopter in the game for dealing with Phantom Lancer later on. Yes, she keeps on dying, but she's still basically tied for second most net worth. Not even doing well in terms of kills. 2, 4, and 5. It's just the Midas gold and may have gotten a tower or 2 earlier. So, I still say it's Orange's game. I still say they're in good shape. But we can never count out a PL, especially with the Shadow Demon on his side. As Orange will happily trade the enemy tier 2 bottom. They're going to take this ultimate tier 2 and exchange ultimate looks to get a tier 1. The Tombstone will be deployed past the creep wave. Radiant Glyph was used. They're trying to stall this. They want to fight it. They have an RP from Mushi. Will he TP into the lane? He's got everything he needs to go. He's picked up a rope of the Magi. I imagine we're going to see that refresher eventually, just starting with the Oblivion Staff components now. Tier 1 top denied by KYXY. More big plays from him. 7, 3, and 2. Your carry Darkseer in action. Now just casually farming up all the creeps in the game, leaving nothing for poor Medusa, who will waddle her way, slither her way top. Does find a Queen of Pain here. And now there's going to be a Soul Catcher. There's a Skewer in. The RP is there. We'll catch the BKB Queen of Pain, doing some good damage to the other heroes, but not to her. She's still very healthy. She is still very strong, and there has been a stolen Sonic Wave. It will be launched out the other direction. Net with a quick, easy double. Make it a triple for somebody on the team, probably, unless Sick Bastard can get away. Mushi Blake's in. Shockwave to fly. All of it. Every last drop of it set up by Net there. Triple kill for him, and basically should be an ultra for the hard support. This is why they were giving him the farm earlier bottom, I guess. This is why they lost that 4-for-1, so that Net could come back and show off later. Hits level 10 off of that fight. Gets a pile of gold, and is now basically worth more than the 2 enemy supports combined, which is pretty filthy. There was no Phantom Lancer in that fight, but he's just not going to do much. To be honest, he won't bring a whole lot to these clashes at this point in the game. He doesn't have Diffusal Blade. He doesn't have Yasha. He has no items that really increase his DPS. No items that put the Fear of God in the enemy team. We will actually see phase boots from Medusa. I mean, it's an alright item. You have the split shot, and any damage you get will go through to that split shot auto attack, which is why an item like Divine Rapier is kind of ridiculous on Medusa, and something she's well known for in the late game, but you don't attack as fast, and we'll see a Blink Skewer in. Another miss from Mushi. Really feeling like it's just not his day in this particular game anyway on that Queen. Oh no, not again. No teleport scroll. Begging for backup. Kachik Embo says, bail me out, Mushi. Bail me out. Mushi will come. He will bail out Kachik. But the TP force, so the engagement they were hoping to get top will not happen. Immediate smoke by ultimate, they're going to hit bottom, but Phase Boot's an item that will give you more damage now, but less damage effectively later on in the game. They do have Empower as well. The plus damage from Empower won't be improved by having Phase Boots, though. That's based on your primary agility stat. We'll see a Disruption, Soul Catcher, Top Rune, and we will see a Shackle Shot, not quite getting a Ratch, and now a Force Staff away, a Vacuum in, a wall deployed, and then just a big bad Undying smacking down that hero. And no Mushi here, as mentioned. Had to TP bottom to save his carry's life. So not able to join the fight. They get 2 more kills on the side of Ultimate. And Orange. This Medusa is not going hard carry build. She went for Midas, yes, but then she goes back for Phase Boots. She goes back for Drums before those Phase Boots. Now going for Lincoln Sphere. It's almost 22 minutes in and she's still building a Lincoln Sphere for the looks of things. PL cannot carry this. Dare I say it. He's 3k net worth behind, but I think he can do it, despite being that. If Medusa had gone straight for the big items, you know, things like the Lincoln Sphere first, into your Mantis style, or even just Mantis style right away, then it gets a lot harder for PL, because she can push faster, she can farm faster, but going this build, it delays where you really start to kick in and do a lot in the team fights by quite a bit. She'll be decent as sort of a mobile hero in those engagements. Will help you farm a bit more right now, but again, going for Phase Boots Drums, that is not going to improve your late game damage potential that much, and those are items that will need to be replaced later on, especially the Drums. It's a decent item for the mid game, but just not that cost effective if you're trying to rush. Basically, if you want to hit your peak power curve later on, then getting an item like Drums and Phase will delay you. So enough about that. I babbled incessantly for a good few minutes here. We have about 30 minutes before G1 League kicks off, so well, I'm hoping that these teams are really going to have an epic clash soon, and we'll see this game decided, because if not, I'm going to have to leave the game in about 15, 20 minutes or so. At the latest, really. Maybe 25, but even that's pushing it a little bit, and those G1 League admins, generally they wait for nobody. So we'll see, guys. I do apologize in advance if I have to randomly leave the game, as it looks like it might drag on later, but them's the breaks, unfortunately. We will still have some GST coverage. If you really want your Southeast Asian Dota fix, head over to twitch.tv/BeyondTheSummit2 and check that one out. In the meantime, it was a bit of a rotation bottom from Ultimate. They're looking to set something up. They've got that Diffusal Blade. Annoying for Medusa to deal with. BKB, been up on the Queen of Pain. It's now a 9-second BKB charge, but still pretty long at that. And crucially, they have an Ultimate Orb on her. Scythe Device coming soon. Big Surgeon from KYXY. The Disruption is not there because he has a Force Staff. He's pretty ballin'.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There we'll go. The clash may start. There's your Disruption. Finally, the fight will begin. Net. Surged in, but now gonna get just blown up by Sick Bastard in a matter of seconds. Queen of Pain all tossed out. KYXY to take a fall. And Orange now forced to fight under their own tower. Do they have buybacks? They really would want to use them now. If they do. They don't. Oh, they do. KYXY will use it. I thought it said it didn't, but it looks like he just had it. And now, that Medusa ultimate, so good at slowing heroes down, even while they're using mobility skills, and now Undying eating the slow as well. That Stone Gaze is a great counter-ganking spell. In the end, they will trade the lives. Well, they give up 2. They give up the Rubik, the Darkseer, and a buyback. They get an Undying. They want more than that. If you're going to buy back on your Darkseer, you really want to pick up more than just a kill on the Undying. So a great trade for Ultimate. They don't get the tower, but 2 kills and a buyback forced out. I'll take it any day of the week. Whew, this game. 19-16, 24 minutes in. Who needs coffee when you have this? I mean, seriously. I took a little nap. I forced to watch through Caster Dota TV, but got here in time to be rudely woken up by these teams. Why can't you just calmly and surely end the game in 20 minutes, Orange? Well, because Ultimate are giving them a run for their money. They are really pushing them. Up by 7.5k gold, up by 2.5k experience, but it doesn't feel like they have any control over this game right now whatsoever. Ultimate has some good aggressive wards up. They've been farming their PL for quite a while now. He's starting to really accelerate his farm. And Medusa has the Lincoln Sphere. An item that really helps you fight now will not help you do much later, and it looks like they do want to take the fight now. So I suppose if that's the case, it is a sensible pickup in some senses, going for phase, going for drums. You will see just the toggling of split shot. When you're pushing, you just want to turn it off when there's nothing to split shot to. Just get that tower. Will be denied. Lincoln Sphere's there, though. There won't be a disruption on Medusa. That annoying initiating spell. No shackle shot either. We'll see a surgeon on KYXY, but not looking to go yet. They're parked behind this Lincoln Sphere Medusa, and now they want to look to go breach the base a little bit, do some chip damage. Split shot activated again. The creeps will melt. Turned off, turned back on. Constant skill microing. Micro skills of a different nature being shown here. It's not really fair to call it micro, but I'm doing it anyway. Because I can, and because we have a micro skills emoticon. Hell frickin' yeah. So anyway, Orange heading towards their own secret shop. Well, Orange going for team shopping tactics. This is not the most masculine Dota. 5-man, 4-man going to the secret shop to purchase some items. It's certainly safer. Medusa split pushing away. I don't think we're going to be able to cast this whole game, guys, to be honest. It's already 4:03. And I'm just watching those precious minutes tick away while I know G1 League slowly but surely rushing towards us. Wait a while, sorry. Oh no! Moshi, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so, Mushi. Guys, thank you all for tuning in. I see we're starting to accumulate some viewers here on BTS 1. Don't forget that Beyond the Summit 2 also has GesT Dota 2 action. MUFC versus Myth Trust. That best out of 3 currently underway. Quickly, we'll take a look at the brackets for those who are just sort of tuning in, wondering what's going on right now with the GS2 Dota 2. We're in the March edition. We're now into the playoffs. The group stages are over. Jonet, they forfeited their match versus Chainstack earlier today, so Chainstack moves directly into the semifinals. Neolution International versus Neolution Thailand. That series has wrapped up. I actually don't know who won because I fell asleep. Arj Ultimate, that's the match you're seeing now. This is only game 1 of the best of 3, I do believe, and MUFC versus Myth Trust. That one currently underway as well. So we know Chainstack into the next round. The semifinals will be played out today, and it looks like it actually was a short pause. Thank you, guys. It's almost like they can hear me. They can't. But here we go. The unpause comes, or cometh, and now Queen of Pain gets that, heads towards the secret shop, then thinks better of it. We'll run away. And Sick Bastard looking towards probably a Scythe device coming next. They'll actually have Kachik Emma join the team. It's just very surprising because Medusa is... she's alright at pushing, but there are generally better picks. They did take her late in the draft, so granted the options were a bit more limited. But this is generally not a hero that you take just to go push at 20 minutes in the game. Generally when you pick Medusa, you turtle, you farm for late game. That's sort of how I'm used to seeing her played. I haven't actually seen her played too much in Dota 2. I'm just going back to my... I mean, when Medusa was actually a top pick, which was way back in the day before Smoke of Deceit was introduced, like back in 2010 or so, when she was king shit of farming all game and turtling, and then winning at 80 minutes in with 2 Divine Rapiers or more. Well, we're not seeing that. We're seeing a different style Medusa. It seems okay so far. Doesn't really seem dominant. I think Kachik Imbo dying a lot, maybe not showcasing the best play. But they're going to look to break this base. They've got their Force Staff, they've got their mech. They have the Lincoln Sphere up, the Blink Dagger on Mushi, and a backstab. Not going to be actually attempted by Queen of Pain. Sick Bastard just sending some illusions in there to do a bit of scouting, as well as probably pulling the creep wave back to stall this push. Ultimate is somewhat lacking in counter push. They have Phantom Lancer, they have the Tombstone, which is alright, they've got Power Shot, which is alright. They don't have Keeper of the Lights Illuminate. They don't have a hero like Lena with 2 big AoE spells. Queen of Pain, not the best counter pusher, because she needs to be close to the creep wave to scream, and that's where you get caught by RP. That's where you get caught by potentially a Rubik Lift into Split Earth, so... They'll bring down these creeps, but there's a Shackle here. Now a Lance Thrown as well. KYXY just kind of zoning everyone off. The tower's not really taking much damage yet, though. They don't have a pipe. They do have the mech, but it's just not quite enough, and Orange will say, screw it, we got a back. Bottom lane's pushing. We can't do this now. Mushi now on that bottom lane. He's going to push this out. He is going for the Refresher Orb. He's got an Oblivion Staff up. And this game, I mean, do you really want to rush it? Oh, action about to happen. Queen of Pain going for a kill on net. Sick bastard. Didn't have mana for the Scream. Actually blew his ultimate as well. Could not quite get the kill. So net playing like a boss, per usual. Manages to live as that 5 position. Gets the double damage Queen of Pain and her ultimate. No problem. He'll find a way out of that pickle anyway. But Mushi going for the Refresher first. We have seen this bite a lot of players in the ass as of late. Getting greedy, rushing Refresher Orb. Yes, it's a great late game item on Magnus. Yes, you always want a Refresher eventually if the game goes late enough, unless you're a carry mag. And even then, you probably want one anyway because it's freaking RP and you get 2 of them. What's not to like? But the issue is there's a Shackle Shot. There's a Shadow Demon Disruption. There's even a Demonic Purge. There's Phantom Lance Spam. There's Power Shot. There's potentially Queen of Pain Sight Device. There's all these abilities that can interrupt him, can mess him up in the team fights. And if he ever gets caught by a big shackle, he may just die from full HP without getting to pop either RP. So if they want to end the game now, I don't really think this is the best choice. And it seems like they do. They've been trying to 5-man. They've been trying to force the base. I'd much rather see the BKB for Mushi. I feel the item selection is a bit at odds with the style of play that we're seeing exhibited by Orange. But it's Orange. They generally find a way to make things work. So let's see if they can do it here. Observer wards deployed in the lane. Looks like they're going to bait near the Roche pit. They have some good vision up right now with the Observer ward planet in the lane. They're going to spot a PL illusion. We'll have a quick hang and a quick pause. But Phantom Lancer's farming. And like I mentioned, this Medusa is not going for a hard carry build. This is your mid-game timing push build. And as a result, she's just not going to offer as much later on. Phantom Lancer, Heart of Tarrasque coming soon. Does he have the recipe on the courier? Not just yet. No buyback, but if he gets this and a Manta style, or this and an upgraded Diffusal Blade and a Yasha, Medusa's not really going to do much versus him. She doesn't have that much damage yet. She's going for what looks to be a Manta style of her own. That, once you get the Manta style, yeah, then you start to hit pretty hard. She'll have it fairly soon. I'm not sure, though. This PL could do a lot more work, I feel, and his potential to actually kill the enemy team is significantly higher. Whereas for the Medusa, her strength will be just doing a bit of AoE damage all around. If there's a big RP by Mushi, if there's the big vacuum RP split Earth combo, then Orange will have the edge. But they're more reliant on hitting those ultimates, whereas Ultimate, ironically enough, despite their name, is not really reliant on any ultimates. Queen of Pain ult, perhaps, but not essential. Oh no, not me too. I hope I'm not getting sick as well. We already have two Beyond the Summit casters down for the count. Gods and Luminous are both sick. I know some of you guys are asking, why aren't they casting, LD? That's why, because they're sick. I have a strong, manly constitution. I cannot get sick. It cannot happen, but it might happen. I hope it doesn't, though. At least not today. Not today. Zenith versus DK. I am casting that, even if you have to drag my crippled body to the ER directly afterwards. Purge, Blitz, even Gods who's sleeping upstairs. Someone's going to do it, because I ain't leaving this PC until we cast Zenith versus DK. At the rate we're going, though, we're not going to get to watch the end of this game, even. Of course, this is game 1 of a best of 3 for Orange versus Ultimate. Currently, a pretty even game for all of those just joining me. 10k gold lead right now for Orange. Looking at about a 6k experience lead. And yes, that your eyes do not deceive you. This is, in fact, Medusa. And no, there is no Ohio in the game. This is not a Mushi-dusa. This is a Kachik Imba Medusa. We've been seeing the Mushi Magnus. In some ways, kind of reminds me of the Dendi Magnus, where the player is just so incredibly brilliant, both Mushi and Dendi on their signature solo mids, and then their Magnus is not horrible by any means, but just doesn't live up to the high standards that they've set for their fans and for the community with the play on their other heroes like Queen of Pain, Invoker, Templar Assassin. I gotta say, I don't know. The Mushi Mag, he's had some big RPs in the past, but for every one of those, there's been a lot of misses. Just doesn't feel quite as consistent as, say the Yao Magnus. Well, you guys know I was gonna say the Yao Mag before I even said anything. The Phantom Lancer illusions, not too long for this world when a full wave of spam is directed at them. And now we'll have to see, with Vacuum, with RP, no Refresher Orb up. They're still going to look to push now. They want to end this game. Can they do it? There's your RP. Catches out Phantom Lancer. Queen of Pain ult thrown in. He does not have buyback, as I mentioned earlier, so he's in trouble. Now the chase is on. The Queen of Pain jumps in. Back line. Hits 2 with the Sonic Wave, but is it really enough? It doesn't look like it. Boy, oh boy, they needed that PL to live. Shadow Demon was nowhere to be found, didn't have Disruption available. I didn't see what he used it on, but it was wasted on something else, causing the PL to die as a result. That's horribly costly. They will surge in net, looking for a Telekinesis Lift into another kill. He might be able to find it here. He's not going to go in just yet, though. They're just zoning everyone back. They still have the wall. RP, not available, but a Blink Skewer is. And Tory Black will get caught by that one. Clipped and dragged back in. Shackle Shot, not going to latch. Tower will fall. Orange looking to break the base here. They're looking at one lane of Rex soon. That Medusa doing some work with their split shot. Raining everybody low. Some great lockdown by the rest of the supporting cast on Orange. They will bring down that Queen of Pain. The Rex now in a bit of jeopardy.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And it looks like the Rex are going to fall. PL's back alive, but they don't have Queen of Pain. They don't have many stuns to actually take a fight. And Orange, I wonder if they even back off. They may go Roche now, but after that, I think they could even just look to end the game with this push. They just needed that one good push. It looked like it was going to be hard to find it, but then they finally got it, and they got it on the one hero who was more important than any other. The Phantom Lancer with no buyback. Queen of Pain, well, she could have bought back if they picked her off, so it wouldn't have been as important, but not able to do so because she didn't die until it was too late. And that, as a result, PL already dead, doesn't even bother to blow the buyback, just sits at base, accepts her death, accepts her fate, which is to lose at least one lane of Rex. It's a PL. Generally, you gotta say it's never over with PL on your team, but now we're looking at a 7k gold lead for the Medusa. Manta style complete, and now this is where Medusa gets scary. Her full fury is about to be unleashed. Look for the it could be the Divine Rapier next, but most likely we're looking at the Butterfly to come, and then the PL Illusion Army will just absolutely melt. Now you're looking scary. You went back, you started with the Midas, you went back for phase, you went back for drums, you went mid-game items, but you've gotten late-game levels of farm and assist gold at this point, as well as tower kills. 3, 4, and 10, not a fantastic score, but the CS is there. 232. Medusa can outfarm a Phantom Lancer quite easily, especially when he doesn't have Keeper of the Light on his side. Especially when the PL doesn't go Yasha first. Yasha is the better farming item, Diffusal the better combat item. And especially when Medusa starts with the Midas, that's not going to hurt either. Orange, they waste no time. They'll go straight in for 2 lanes of Rex. Perfect, perfect. Hopefully they'll be able to end the game soon, or if not, hopefully Ultimate will be able to, because we got to go to G1 League. I keep on saying it because I don't want myself to forget and be late to the lobby. Sight Device picked up a Queen of Pain. This could be a big combat item. They need to burst somebody down. Mushi would be an ideal target. Medusa is actually, I think, too tanky to kill. Maybe if they hit the Soul Catcher and the Demonic Purge on her, then potentially Net will pull in Sig faster, but there won't be a Split Earth in time. In fact, the BKB, dropped by the Queen of Pain, jumps in, unloading the ult, no ult deployed, and now the RP, dropped by Mushi, the Queen of Pain ult, stolen by Net. What an incredible steal, set up by the Mushi RP, and that's going to be devastation, desecration to all of Ultimate. Now our Phantom Lancer on the run. On the back lines, it is that Queen of Pain, still alive, but one more hit. Or Blink Shockwave, that'll do it. That'll bring her down. The Medusa Ultimate already used, but now with Manta style available, can easily look with Empower to just chop her way through this lane of Rex. And even with the Heart of Terrest, those PL Illusions not going to do much against an empowered Medusa, who now is Manta style, Lincolns, Phase Boots, as well as drums. Now she's scary, now she's hitting hard, and she's got that next item. 2 lanes of Rex for Orange Esports. They are just right on my schedule. It's almost like I'm in Skype with them or something. Blanket skewering Dandimon back. He's dropping quickly, and he will take a fall. No, he won't. Yes, he will. Vacuumed in. They get the pick, and now they can even look for 3 lanes of Rex. This looks to be the end for Ultimate. We'll see us TP out from Kachik Imba. But Orange really got what they came for here. And now they're just going to go right down mid. I don't even know if they'll actually stop. We probably have an Eagle Horde on the Courier. No, we have a Talisman and a Quarterstaff. So Butterfly is coming next. And with that, Orange can end the game. This game will be over as soon as this Butterfly is complete. Ultimate are not going to be able to defend. Phantom Lancer's dead. He's only got a Heart and a Diffusal Blade. It's just not enough. He needs that Diffusal too. He needs that Manta style or that Butterfly of his own. Otherwise, the split shot is just too painful. You need that extra armor. You really need that evasion. And there's too much lockdown for him. There's the Blink RP. There should be a double RP. But Mushi's decided to sit on his gold. He wants to have that buyback ready. Force-staffing himself in. He cancels the RP. He couldn't find the right opening. I actually don't think they want to blow RP on just that Queen of Pain. I think the much more critical target is the Phantom Lancer. Because Queen of Pain, we've seen that she drops her ultimate. It's just not enough. And it doesn't even matter. Butterfly is complete. Shackle will hit. But can they even go in? Everyone being zoned back. It's like a Luna with bouncing blades. It's like a gyrocopter with flat cannon. Except there's no procs for it. The tombstone, not long for this one. Tory Black going to take the rest of the enemy team on a bit of a wild goose chase, but they'll get that kill. Now they'll come back in. Quita Page jumps in, unloads their ultimate. RP being canceled, and now deployed and completely airballed yet again. This doesn't feel like Mushi's hero, guys, but it don't matter. Triple kill for the little one that could. Looking at an Ultra now. Don Demon going to take the fall. Ultra kill for Kachikimba. And on this note, RNG Sports going to cruise control their way to a Game 1 victory. GG bros indeed. Well played by RNG Sports. As for Ultimate, well, they took a bit of a spill here in Game 1. This one is a best of 3. Don Demon, his children, his progeny, his army of illusions. They are not long for this world. One of the most hideous creatures ever to grace the world of Dota has murdered his family. I mean, who could love this face? Who could love this face? This face right here. Nobody. The answer is nobody. Medusa, just such a sad, lonely, ugly little snake creature. But able to win the game. Gets the job done and shows potentially some utility and interest as a carry versus Phantom Lancer, as a pushing carry at that. I'm not entirely convinced. I didn't feel the Medusa was the key to the game, but it was fun to watch at the end, guys. RNG Sports, they take Game 1. This one is a best of 3. If you want to watch the rest of the games, Mizram of Dota Talk will be casting them, I believe. His stream is twitch.tv/Dota Talk stream. If you want to watch more GST covered by Beyond the Summit, we have Blaze as well as Vikramon casting MUFC versus Mythtrust. That's going on at twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit too. But as for me, I'm LD. If you enjoy my casting, follow me at twitter.com/LDDota. And more importantly, stay tuned because the G1 League is coming up next. I will be casting a best of 3 between DK versus Zenith. I believe Bruno will be joining me, but I will confirm that in just a few moments. Guys, I'm gonna run the outro now, but I have to restart the stream to get my G1 overlays online. So refresh your stream in a little over 2 minutes, probably 3 minutes or so. Make sure you have the stream back online if you hear my voice, but you don't see the video. Just refresh. You might have to do it a few times, but it will come back, and we'll be back right after this with the G1 League. DK versus Zenith, a best of 3 for the ages, and it's only the group stages of that. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.